Hey, can we confirm that we've got good voiceover commentary coming out on the live stream? Hey Google, start a 1 hour timer.
Alright, 1 hour, and that's starting now.
Uh. Alright, well, welcome back, everybody, to tonight's programming on Rounding Off Infinity. We're going to be doing another episode of the Replication Anecdotes, which is my branding and labeling for live streams that I do whenever I'm playing a flight sim or a racing simulation or even action games in that genre. So this is Air Missions HIND, which is definitely more of an action game than a simulator, but that's just fine. So I'm playing around with the lighting scheme tonight. I apologize if I don't actually come across on the webcam. I don't know if it's just going to be too dark to actually see me in the little webcam portal. Which doesn't really matter if you can see me or not. But some people get bent out of shape if you get the camera portal up and you can't be seen. So for a gaming peripheral tonight, let me go back to the lighting scheme. So I found these lamps on Amazon. They are these little rechargeable glow lamps, which are pretty neat. If you like playing with the lights off when you game. I've started doing more of that recently just because it seems like with 4K displays, it seems like they look way better if the lights are off. So I did a pre-flight configuration in this game last night, and a little bit of a fan fight. You can see that over on my YouTube channel, Rounding Off Infinity. And that was also to check out my streaming setup this week. So as I always do, at the outset of an episode of Rounding Off Infinity, let me go ahead and run down the hardware that's in play tonight. So tonight I'm playing on my primary gaming PC, which is a do-it-yourself build built around an AMD FX hexacore processor. I think it's called a Vishera core or whatever. I don't know if they want me to go all the way down. Great. I did use the Z-axis to descend. So let's restart the mission. So this machine, like I said, is built around that AMD FX processor, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and two NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070s rigged in SLI. Now, surprisingly enough, I have been one of those gamers who's been complaining recently about the dearth of games that are multi-GPU enabled, but this one is, and but it doesn't do 4K. So I don't understand. Again, there are games that do 4K that don't allow you to use both GPUs. And then there are games that allow you to use both GPUs but are not 4K enabled. Just kind of doesn't make any sense. Form control test. I am using Z-axis to climb. So for a gameplay peripheral tonight, I am using the Thrustmaster T-Flight Hotess X controller. This is a PS3 and PC compatible controller. They've made multiple variants of this that are compatible with different consoles. So there is a PS4 compatible version as well. But I don't really see the need to buy the next iteration because there aren't any. Okay. Now, probably one of the reasons that I'm most interested to get back into this tonight after the short session last night is I've done a bit of tailoring of the T-Flight Hotess. And that is, I bought a bunch of non-skid strips. They're actually used to they're actually marketed as handgun grips, which I tend to use them for that as well. But I primarily bought them to put on my joysticks, this joystick in particular. Felt really slippery the last outing that I had it on, which was to play some Descent 3, actually. Now, so this is me altering the camera control. I will say that it does seem to play a a little smoother with SLI enabled. But I really like the feel of these non-skid strips on here. If you want to see kind of what they look like, I hadn't done the throttle this morning. I took pictures of the actual joystick. Change or alteration after I got it rigged this morning. And I passed through the waypoint. Do they need you to actually pass through it at altitude as well? Did I not pass through it at the right altitude? That's probably the case. Okay, there we go. Still have to get used to this flight model. So I'm accustomed to in flight sims that when you push the throttle forward, it really only makes you gain altitude if you have the aircraft kind of flattened out. This thing, it feels like this control model. It feels like it feels almost like it actually has like thrusters on it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe it's just because I have the throttle at the midpoint, so you still, if you pitch it forward, you still get forward thrust out of it. I don't know. So at any rate, the controls feel so much better with the non-skid strips on. Alright, here we go.
Okay, that's the first target. Try to eliminate it with the BPU 12.7 dorsal turret gun. Don't forget, it is mounted on a flexible turret, so you can aim your fire.
Now this is one thing. Got so I haven't gotten full competency on how to man the weapons. Where's my altitude? Alright. So now I've got auto hover on, which I think is probably the best way for me to monkey with this thing. Doesn't respond to Feels like it takes... I'm still getting used to this. It doesn't actually respond to left and right. It only responds to twist left and right when you're in this mode.
Good work, comrade. Now
Gotta
it's
auto
time to
hover.
test the S5 rocket.
I think I have a little... No, 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 no. Somehow... How do I change weapons? Okay, here we go. Did I do that right? Blast it. Seems like I'm not getting the same rocket controls that I got last night. So I'm hitting something wrong. Oh, no, there's the... Okay. There we go. Okay. It's a little different tonight because none of these targets are shooting at you, so I don't mind going in and backing up a little. Alright.
Good work. Let's return to the airbase.
Okay, let's go up altitude, twist the aircraft. Lower. Let's get over to the airbase. Now. Okay. Go. So somewhere on here I thought I put... Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's zoom in and then zoom back out. Alright. Yeah, see, it's still... So when I used to play like AH-64D Longbow and other Jane's flight sims, it seemed like once you pitch the aircraft forward enough, it would stop climbing and it would just apply all that throttle to thrust, but I gotta figure this out a little bit. Now again, this is a little more arcadey of a flight action game. I wouldn't call it a flight sim because you can apply reloads. I think though, if you calm down. I think though, if you crank up some of the difficulty level, you will get pretty close to a flight sim-like experience. Use what to deploy landing gear? No. It's my altitude, 75 meters. Use to deploy landing gear. I don't know what it's telling me to use to deploy landing gear. Hoping when I get here I can just go into auto hover mode and that will help a lot. This is the landing point. So auto hover's on. Now, one of the things I do like about this game is you can actually go in mid-mission and change your control setup, which most flight sims won't let you do. Reload flare launch. Okay, so that's what I did earlier when I heard that round pickle off, was that was actually me launching flares. I remember what button I have that mapped to. Toggle gears or doors while on the ground. Now this is the problem, is I have mapped every button. Maybe I need to map this to a I guess technically one thing I haven't done is I haven't used, so it won't let me map it to my usual what I usually use for yaw, but it does let me map it to a POV switch. So we'll save that. Back. Alright. I can't leave 2 seats, so I guess this must be the gunner's seat all the way in the front of the aircraft, right? And this must be the pilot's seat, who's so high you can't even see the gunner down in front of him. Alright. See if I can land this thing without blowing it up. I had an instrument on here that would tell me my rate of descent, so I would know what to stay below as far as descending. So these lamps you can put into this light cycle mode. I think it has like 8 or 9 different colors that it cycles through. Now, the rest of the equipment that I have in play tonight for the live stream is for the video game capture. I'm actually using the Razer Ripsaw capture device. For a webcam, I'm using my Panasonic HTC HS80. Camcorder. Nice. Now, that's not a horrible amount of time to put in to get familiar with the basic flight model and weapons. It's not nearly as heady as a full-blown flight sim. Obviously, the other real flight sim that I play, Digital Combat Simulator, I mean, we wouldn't have done anything but taken the aircraft out and tested the control surfaces. Like, we wouldn't have come anywhere near to actually firing weapons the first time out. Now, I also purchased the Deluxe package, so now this is a thing that it does to you. So I played Instant Action last night, and one of the things the game does is it doesn't give you access to all of the weapons until you unlock them in the campaign mode. So we're going to do target artillery. Oh, that's actually a mission, so that's not training. Okay. But I bought the Deluxe pack, which has like 3 additional aircraft in it. So before we get started with the air mission, I'll just go ahead and run down the rest of the hardware that's in play. Like I said, I have the Panasonic HTC HS80 camcorder that I'm using for my webcam tonight. That's wired into a Blackmagic Designs web presenter, which basically takes any HDMI input and sends it over to a PC and makes the PC think that it's a webcam. For voiceover commentary tonight, I'm using the Samson Go mic with a pop filter and a foam ball windscreen. And then to get the in-game audio out of the ambient air and away from the open-air microphone, I'm taking the audio output out of the back of the LG 27-inch 4K monitor that I have with a splitter cable that splits it from the 3.5mm output on the back of the display to left and right RCA channels, and I'm sending that into a Behringer Xenix 302 USB hardware mixer, and then I have the switches set to send that over to the headphone output port on the right-hand side of the mixer, and what I have jacked in is a pair of Samson SR850 studio monitor headphones. And I think that's it. All of that is going over to my streaming PC, which is another do-it-yourself build built around a Intel Core i7 7700K Kaby Lake processor with 32 gigabytes of RAM, and with a solid-state hard drive for the OS drive and a 7200 RPM spinning drive, as well as a Western Digital external drive to spool the video to. Now, of course, tonight I'm not concurrently recording. I never live stream and record. I just do one or the other. And I'm pumping that out to Mixer using OBS. Mainly because the, let's see, friendly ground forces were ambushed by enemy artillery positions. So eliminate all enemy artillery positions, so I don't have to worry about air-to-air combat tonight. Now, it's a little risky. The only thing I've flown so far is the HIND. What I don't know, if I can get the Hokum, the Hip, or the Havoc. Now, I have played flight sims featuring just about each of these different aircraft at some time before in other games. Russian Pure Green. Now, I still can't mount anything on the wingtips yet. In fact, I don't have access to any of the other Alright. So I'm flying the Havoc, right? Now this might be a mistake. I don't know how much differently the Havoc flight model is going to behave in this game.
Let's take off and destroy the enemy.
Here we go. Now, one of the things that the non-skin strips have helped out with a lot is, that's interesting, the other aircraft in my wing are, I have no idea what button 7 is, so I'm not going to do that. I am going to start, what is that? Oh, that must be, oh, there's targets right there. Okay. Helo. Whoa! I didn't realize that was, is that artillery? Nice. Alright. Let's go ahead and, One thing I wish is I wish I was better or knew how to... I don't mind using. Nope, no. Traps too up. Not really good at planning out my whole approach here. I wish better. I wish I was better at doing strafing runs and eliminating these guys on one pass. I hate having to keep going around. Ooh. I want to watch the mid-air collisions there. Zeus. Okay. Yeah. Pretty happy with that. Drop some altitude in this turn. Yeah, I just wish I knew how to use the, oh, what was that? One thing I have a really difficult time discerning my gun pip from that green bull nose. No, what are you doing? That's what I don't like, is I feel like the only thing I'm effective at using is going to auto hover mode. I cannot, let's see. Jeez, thanks a lot, dude. Actually, it looks like I'm hitting him a little bit. That did not go where I expected it to go. What's going on here? Come on my end. Nope. Still an auto hover. Alright, here we go. Okay. Got some guys over here. I guess I don't want to do a reload just yet. Ooh. I'm at 97% hull integrity, so I think I'm okay for right now. Alright. So I guess what it is those are your actual... I just realized I haven't spent a lot of time in the actual cockpit. Okay. Now, am I in the... Alright. I'm taking just about all of them out. Now, right now, they have not thrown any surface air missiles at me. There we go.
Seems that area is secured. Good job.
Two 2% accuracy. So that, like I said, that's the thing that I guess I need to work on. Is effectiveness with the gun mounts, the cannon. So one side effect I'm really enjoying from having these non-skid strips on the joystick and throttle control. That it also seems like the base tends to slip a little less, and maybe that's because I don't have to put so much torque and pressure on the control surfaces to get the thing to move. Alright, so we'll do a little rush in the snow. So what is it now? I have rockets. I guess I don't really know what that is. I guess that's the additional gun mount. And then 2 types of bombs available. I'll just carry the rockets there. The other gun mount there. And the FFB 100 bomb there. I have no idea how to use bombs in this game, and obviously there was no training for that, so this ought to be interesting. I also did not read the mission description, so...
Let's take off and find the convoy.
Very interesting. Well, at least it tells you in plain English right there when you get started. It's very interesting to me that your wingmen continue to fly the HIND, right? Like, no matter what you choose to fly. Why is the camera doing that? Yeah, slightly different
Here
flight
they
model
are.
here.
Enemy
Oh, don't do
anti-air
that.
vehicles are the priority targets.
Alright. I can better understand what this thing is doing. I don't know. Okay. Okay, there's the gun pod, the bombs, rockets. Bombs, rockets. And I hope I don't crash because I don't understand where. This thing is not nearly so maneuverable. Not set in good position there. Give myself a little maneuvering space. Nope. Now let's descend. These guys should come right around. It's like, what was that? I cannot get the rocket sight to depress the way I want it to. Here we go. This is definitely a different kind of aircraft to fly, because I just cannot watch my altitude here. It's like the aircraft is almost too fast. Tracks. I'm flying in amongst these mountains too, which also doesn't make me comfortable. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Alright. Am I on the other good mount? Nice. Come on, come on. Alright, I'm gonna try and get out ahead of these guys. Maybe if I tuck myself in this pocket of the mountain right here, just push the aircraft, drop your altitude. Come on, where are they? Here we go, here we go, here we go. Okay. Wow. That did a lot of damage. Get my altitude up. Something down there is really angry at me. rockets. Where is this guy? No! Oh, here we go. Nice.
Good job. Let's return home.
Man, this hip or whatever it is a fat bottom aircraft. But it was actually almost a little more fun having to work that hard to get it to do what I wanted it to do. So I was laughing a little earlier because one of the co-hosts of the E2KG network, Dave Pecci, who was my partner on the Entertainment Series podcast, was trying to get a hold of me over Steam. So now we've unlocked a rocket. And Steam really needs to have like a do not disturb mode or something. And maybe it does, and I just don't know. Evacuation. Hey Google, how much time is left on the timer?
12 minutes and 41 seconds left.
Guess I get a little overconfident sometimes and I don't check the stream. Okay, all the time like I used to. Guess I get a little overconfident sometimes and I don't check the stream. Okay, all the time like I used to. Seems like everything is in working order. Enemy has captured friendly pilots and soldiers. Just looking at the position where they are being held. Secure the compound and rescue our comrades. What? Wow. Okay. Let's see how this works. Ooh. Didn't even give you the option of selecting your aircraft or your weapons loadout. Now, one of the things I don't like about this game is it accepts keyboard and mouse, joysticks, and game controllers as inputs, but it will only accept those.
And see what's going on.
It will only accept one of those at a time.
More enemy
Ah,
alive.
no. Okay, no. So what it's done is it's inverted the gun controls, which I do not like. Alright. Basic settings, flight controls, weapons controls. Turret gun, weapons, switch weapon, fire turret gun, weapon, flexible turret and missile guidance, turret and missile controls, camera controls, cockpit camera. I do not understand that. So I have invert Y on. This is shades of Grand Theft Auto Vice City all over again. So because I'm on this blasted door gun, I'm going to turn that off for right now. But then as soon as it pops me back in the cockpit, I'm going to have to turn it back on. Because I don't really know... What? No, I didn't want it to do anything. Yeah, I don't want it.
Enemy anti-aircraft. As a priority, kill them first.
No, it's not doing what I want it to do. That's like it didn't. Is it just me, or did it not invert it at all? Setup controls. Invert Y, I'll turn that on. Save. Maybe what I need to do. You know what I just need to do is keyboard and mouse. Maybe playing this mission again. So my problem now is I gotta reduce the sensitivity of the mouse. Okay, now I think I got it working. There's a tank down there. Technical. That's getting hot. Here we go. Can you please keep the aircraft still?
Light armor.
By tank, I mean what looked to be like a red fuel tank on the side of the building. Jeez, there we go, finally, yeesh. Okay, let's shoot that thing down. Okay, so I don't like the door gun missions. With 3 military helos sticking on this base thing. It would be more effective than this right now. I have not hit this blasted technical. He's on the backside door. I also don't have the best. I didn't anticipate using the mouse, so my gaming mouse is like stuck halfway underneath the stand that I'm using for my microphone. Best setup at all. It's interesting. I hope I'm not killing friendlies because not all these people that I see down here have red markers on them. Okay, it just snapped. Yeah, so it just snapped back to helo control. Let's go ahead and get my sensitivity back up to what it normally is. Settings. So this is an example of, right, so whatever input mode you put it in, that's the only thing it will accept. Save. Back.
Good job. The area is secure. Now, land and pick up our comrades.
Seriously? aircraft and pump it forward a little. Definitely like to not land on top of the building.
Come on, guys. We can do this.
I just read that my hull integrity was down to like 28% during that. That is not good. Oh, no. Doors up. We're gonna gear up. So where am I supposed to go? Fly away anywhere? Alright. Cool. Hey Google, how much time is left on the timer?
1 minute and 42 seconds to go.
So that is not really enough time to play another mission, so let's see what's coming up next. So there's another gun pod, I guess? Training. So it looks like, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. About 17 missions. I don't know if the additional content that I bought gave me any additional missions, but I think you do also have a mission editor, and of course you have instant action and different kinds of skirmish mode. So this is pretty cool. It kind of hits the sweet spot for complexity versus simplicity in terms of just getting in here and flying around and blowing some stuff up. And like I said, I think you can increase the realism and difficulty levels and get closer to sim experience. I don't think you're ever going to get anything that is along the lines of a digital combat simulator, but again, I know one of the things I struggle with in playing flight sims is they're not the most conducive to coming home. For me, my routine is I get home, I have to spend time with the kids, and then my wife and I have time, and then by the time I get down here to the Geek Command Center, I'm on a very tight schedule to actually get things accomplished during the week. So that makes it really tough to pull off playing flight sims during the week, and I typically have to slot those games for play on the weekends. Hey Google, stop the timer. When I have more time to sit there and pour through manuals and remember all my system fam and things like that. So this kind of hits that nice fix of playing some flight sims during the week. So thanks a lot for anybody who happened to want to buy and check in on the live stream on Mixer, or if you're looking at this in its archive version on my YouTube channel, Rounding Off Infinity. So once again, this has been the Replication Anecdotes, Season 3, Episode 3. So thanks so much for joining in. That's going to do it for me. My name has been Agasically Stamus from the E2KG Network, Gearworks.com, and Geeks Worldwide. That's going to do it for me. I'm out of here.